The first step to safely store your torch is to turn it off properly. To do this, you need to follow these steps. Turn off the gas valve on the torch handle. This will stop the flow of gas to the nozzle. Turn off the gas supply at the source. This could be a tank, a cylinder, or a regulator. Make sure the valve is fully closed and there is no hissing sound. Disconnect the hose from the gas source and the torch handle. Be careful not to twist or kink the hose, as this could damage it. Let the torch nozzle cool down completely before touching it. The nozzle can be very hot after use and could cause burns if handled too soon. You can use a heat-resistant glove or a cloth to protect your hand. Wipe off any dirt or debris from the nozzle with a soft cloth. Do not use water or solvents, as this could damage the metal or cause corrosion. Store the torch nozzle in a dry and clean place. Avoid exposing it to moisture, dust, or direct sunlight. By following these steps, you can ensure that your torch is turned off and cooled down safely and ready for the next use. To clean the nozzle and the fuel tank of your torch, you will need some tools and materials. You will need a wrench, a screwdriver, a cloth, some water, and some rubbing alcohol. First, turn off the torch and let it cool down completely. Then, use the wrench to unscrew the nozzle from the torch head. Be careful not to damage the nozzle or the threads. Next, use the screwdriver to open the fuel tank cap. Pour out any remaining fuel into a safe container and dispose of it properly. Do not reuse old fuel, as it may contain impurities that can clog the torch. Now, use the cloth and some water to wipe the nozzle and the fuel tank cap. Make sure to remove any dirt, dust, or debris that may have accumulated on them. Then, use some rubbing alcohol to disinfect them and kill any bacteria or germs. Finally, let the nozzle and the fuel tank cap dry completely before reattaching them to the torch. Use the wrench and the screwdriver to tighten them securely. Make sure there are no leaks or cracks in the nozzle or the fuel tank. You have successfully cleaned the nozzle and the fuel tank of your torch. This will help you maintain your torch in good condition and prevent any accidents or malfunctions. Remember to clean your torch regularly and store it safely when not in use. Now that you have cleaned your torch, you need to store it properly to ensure its safety and longevity. Here are some tips on how to store your torch in a dry and ventilated place away from flammable materials. First, make sure your torch is completely cool before storing it. You don't want to risk burning yourself or anything else with a hot torch. Wait for at least 15 minutes after using your torch before putting it away. Second, find a suitable location for your torch storage. It should be a dry and ventilated place away from direct sunlight, heat sources, and flammable materials. You don't want your torch to get wet, overheat, or ignite anything accidentally. A good option is to store your torch in a metal toolbox or cabinet with some space around it. Third, secure your torch in place so that it doesn't move or fall. You can use straps, hooks, or brackets to hold your torch firmly. You don't want your torch to roll or slide and damage itself or other items. Make sure the nozzle of your torch is pointing away from you and any other objects. Fourth, check your torch regularly for any signs of damage or leakage. You should inspect your torch at least once a month for any cracks, dents, rust, or corrosion. You should also check the fuel level and the valve of your torch for any leaks. If you notice any problems with your torch, do not use it and contact the manufacturer or a professional for repair or replacement. By following these simple steps, you can store your torch in a dry and ventilated place away from flammable materials and keep it in good condition for a long time. Remember to always handle your torch with care and follow the safety instructions when using it.